अस्सलाम वालेकुम तमाम दोस्तों को, उम्मीद है तमाम दोस्त खैरियत से होंगे। आज बहुत दिन बाद लेकिन बड़ी ज़बरदस्त न्यूज़ के साथ आप लोगों के साथ फिर हाज़िर हैं वाइटाजीन के प्लेटफॉर्म पे। और उसमें हमारे आज जो हीरो है इंशाल्लाह वो अदील भाई होंगे। और अदील भाई हमारे बहुत अच्छे दोस्त, और उनके साथ हमारा ताल्लुक़ ऑलरेडी था, बट अब जो है उन्होंने हमारे लिए एक बहुत ज़बरदस्त सा एफ़र्ट किया। बेसिकली वो ख़ुद अमेरिका में होते हैं, तो जैसा कि आप लोगों को बताया था कि हम लोग इंशाल्लाह 2 पैलेट मज़ीद जो है वो इंपोर्ट करने जाएंगे। तो अल्लाह के करम से अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वो फ़िज़िकली तौर पे भी हमारे अपने भाई जो अदील भाई हमारे तरफ से वहाँ जाके उन लोगों से जो JDH जो गए, और वहाँ जाके ना ही सिर्फ उनकी हेफर्स वो जो हमने सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं वो देखी, बल्कि उन लोगों से उनके हवाले से जो है वो इन्फॉर्मेशन भी ली, उनकी कुछ हिस्ट्री मालूम की, और बड़ी ज़बरदस्त सी एक वीडियो जो है वो आप लोगों के साथ पेश खिदमत है उनकी तरफ से। और उन्होंने बड़ा इसको भी कहा कि यार ये मेरा फ़र्स्ट टाइम है, तो जैसे भी हो देख लीजिएगा। तो आप लोगों ने उनको बताना है किस तरीके की है, और ये जो आगे आप लोगों ने देखेंगे क्लिप्स सारी ये वहाँ की जो उन्होंने क्लिप्स बनाई है बराह रास्त वहाँ से आपको बना के दी, और हम थैंक्स करेंगे अदील भाई का। और आगे आप जो अब क्लिप्स देखेंगे और जो भी चीज़ आगे देखेंगे वो अब अमेरिका से होगी डायरेक्ट।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों, उम्मीद है आप सब खैर खैरियत से होंगे। मेरा नाम है अदील और मैं यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका में रिज़ाइड करता हूँ। ये वीडियो मैं बना रहा हूँ मानी भाई के रेफरेंस में, उनकी परमिशन से वाइटाजीन्स फार्म्स करीम्स कैटल फार्म की तरफ से। मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि उन्होंने मुझे मौका दिया कि मैं आप सब तक के ये उनकी जो जर्नी है वो आप सब तक के लेकर आ सकूं और दिखा सकूं उनकी नेक्स्ट शिपमेंट जो कि आ रही है कराची इस मंथ के एंड में। और अभी हम जाएंगे यहाँ से सीधा हंगरफोर्ड टेक्सास, जहाँ पर हम मिलेंगे JD हजन से और उनसे थोड़ी सी बातचीत करेंगे, उनसे उनका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लेंगे, उनका अब तक का एक्सपीरियंस करीम्स कैटल के साथ और वाइटाजीन फार्म्स के साथ, और वो कैसे हमें सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं हमारी नेक्स्ट शिपमेंट के लिए, जो कि टोटल 10 हेफर्स की है कराची के लिए, जो कि स्केड्यूल है इस मंथ के एंड में कराची आने के लिए। तो मेरे साथ बने रहिए। मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि मुझे ये मौका मिला कि मैं ये सब कुछ आप सब की तरफ तक लेकर आ सकूं। मैं कोई प्रोफेशनल यूट्यूबर नहीं हूं, तो माफ़ी चाहता हूं कि मेरी वीडियो किस तरह से बन रही होगी, लेकिन मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड हूं इस जर्नी को कवर करने के लिए और आप तक के पहुंचाने के लिए। खास करके वो प्रॉमिस जो वाइटाजीन फार्म्स ने बैक इन जून सबसे करा था कि वो किस तरह से इस जेनेटिक्स को इम्प्रूव करना चाहते हैं, और पाकिस्तान के लिए वो जो काम कर रहे हैं इस सेक्टर के अंदर, उससे आगे जाकर लोगों को कितना बेनिफिट मिलने वाला है, अफोर्डेबिलिटी फैक्टर कितना इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, और ख़ास करके जो जेनेटिक्स पे जो काम हो रहा है वो किस लेवल पे ये लोग लेकर जाना चाहते हैं। तो उम्मीद है आप सबको ये वीडियो पसंद आई होगी। एज आई मेंशन, मैं प्रोफेशनल यूट्यूबर नहीं हूँ, तो माफ़ी चाहता हूँ अगर वीडियो बोरिंग लग रही हो आपको या ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं बनी हो, लेकिन उम्मीद है कि आप लोग को बहुत पसंद आएगी और आप लोग को बहुत समझ में आएगी। और इसी तरीके से आप लोग जो है वाइटाजीन के साथ जुड़े रहें, मानी भाई के साथ जुड़े रहें। और वंस अगेन बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मानी भाई का, उसामा भाई का, तला भाई का और समीत भाई का, जिन्होंने मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी दी कि मैं आप तक के ये सब चीज़ें कवर करके अहेड ऑफ टाइम आपको दिखाएं कि वो ऐसी क्या नगीने हैं जो इन्होंने सेलेक्ट करे हैं, जो ये कराची में प्रेजेंट करने वाले हैं आपको, जिससे ना कि एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर बाकी और नए कस्टमर भी जिसके साथ जुड़ सकें और सबके सब उसका बेनिफिट उठा सकें। Hey Clay. Hello, Mr. Bill.
Hello. Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me at Hudins.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming down.
So tell us something about, Hudins and how it had started, and then tell us about your relationship with Vitagene Farms and what it's been like with you working with us.
So I'm sixth generation, JD Hudgens family member that works on the ranch. My dad is one of the real historians, so I'm going to have him kind of break it down for you in regards to our beginnings and how we've gotten to the position that we are here in 2025.
Well, the first Hudins, they came in here in the 1830s. So this land was mainly ranch land and some farming land. But mainly the Hudins went into the ranch land. And they had British-type cattle back then. This only our Indian-type cattle. I'm talking about a Mexican-type cattle came in. And one of the first cattle that they saw here that started coming out of Louisiana was a Brahma-type cattle, and we call Brahman. It was a Zebu-type bull. And his offspring was coming into Texas, and my great-grandfather saw that they would, all in the middle of the day during the heat, they'd be out grazing where the cattle, that British cattle, were in the shade or in the water trying to cool down. So these Indian cattle were getting very popular in our part of the country because it's hot, had a lot of insects, diseases, and those cattle were easy to get along with and they didn't have any problems. And in 1906, a man by the name of A.P. Barton had gone to India and brought a boatload of cattle back from India, quarantined them in New York, an island, then eventually moved them to Texas where they finished quarantining them. And in 1914, he sold us some females. And it was 40 females, and they weren't even pure. They were 7th, 8th Brahma, what we call Brahma. And that's right.
Nelor, correct?
They were Nelor type cattle.
Okay.
And so we started those cattle here and started producing our Brahma herd. And in the early 1923, there was a group of cattle that came in from Brazil. And those cattle they originated from India also. But they quarantined them in Mexico for a year. And my great-grandfather or grandfather went to Mexico and bought 25 head of these bulls with different genetics. And they paid between $2,000 and $2,500 a head back in 23, which was a lot of money. And that's what they did was they came in and brought new genetics to what we didn't have. And these genetics that came in were mainly Gujarat bloodlines. And they were more bigger bone animals. The dispositions were very quiet compared to the Nelore and had more muscle and bone. And one of the offsprings that came in from Mexico produced the bull Mansaw. And Mansaw was a bull that was raised by the Sarwell brothers, and they sold that bull to a lady that had on commercial cattle. And she called this ranch because he was producing too many females, and she needed new genetics. So my grandfather said, butcher the bull and bring the money and I'll sell you a bull. So that woman said, I'm not butchering this bull, he's too good. So they went over there and saw the bull. They couldn't believe what they saw. And because he was about 2,000 pounds on grass, a big bone and just an excellent animal, better than anything they've ever raised. So instead of getting new genetics or selling her, they gave her 5 different bulls for this bull. And he came over here, and he was 7 years old when we got him. He lived to be 17, which is unheard of these days. He produced 316 calves during his natural breeding season. We kept most of the females and approximately 50 bulls of Mansaw. In our breeding program, we had a line breeding program set up to where everything on this ranch was finally Mansaw. Everything went back to that one bull. And now they say 85% to 90% of all American gray Brahma all over the world go back to that one bull.
Mansaw. That's fantastic. Okay, Clay, so question for you now. How's your experience been working with Vitagene?
You know, it's the experience that I've had. I've worked with people all over the world and selling cattle. and built relationships with people, from government leaders of countries to people that want one bull at their farm in Guatemala. Working with Vitagene and with Talai coming in and doing the selection over the phone of different Brahman heifers, and doing a shipment over there, and now working on a second. It's been great. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to meet them in person, but we've had hours of phone calls and video exchanges in regards to the animals that I sent over in the first shipment. 5 heifers went over there successfully. I was happy to see a video that was made about the importation and them getting on the ground in Pakistan and seem to be thriving. I know that OSI collection is going well, and now with us working on the second shipment, excited to go over and really kind of show what we have and what our ranch is really about. It's producing great Brahman cattle, but it's also about building the relationships with our buyers, with our customers, in order to continue to elaborate on their goals and expand their goals to producing Brahman cattle, especially now in Pakistan with Vitagene and getting the good genetics and a long-lasting relationship, not only with the cattle, but with the people involved, for us to keep this growing and keep this going for a long time.
Perfect.
This is a group of heifers that we've identified to go to Vitagene Farm. We've got 3 selected as possible alternates. We will start testing these animals as soon as we are clear for quarantine. These heifers range in age from 1 year old to 19 months of age. They've all had put their implants in their ear as far as tracking through USDA. But these are heifers that are slated to go on the flight to Pakistan for Vitagene Farms. We've got 656. This one right here is one of the XL heifers. 670 is a very long female. 671 is the most beautiful female in here. She's not the biggest, but she's the most complete. 623 is a beefy heifer along with 650. They're branded with XL and they're branded with Cloverleaf. Just a good group of females. They've been scanned. They did have follicles. Everything looks like it's good to go. And it's just a good beefy type group of heifers with good bone, good meat. It's just an excellent group of heifers.